Hello, hello, lovers of Diaspora TV. Uh, if you're watching me now, this is Ambassador John with you, and this is Diaspora TV. As promised, today we'll be having a show about the Korean experience. Now, if you're watching us from wherever you're watching us, this is Diaspora TV Australia, and my name is Ambassador John. I'm happy that you're joining us now. God bless you for joining. Feel free, if you have not subscribed or liked our page, feel free to like our page and follow us so that you can know when we go live, and so that you can catch up with us whenever we go live. So God bless you so much for joining. Well, it's 10:30 here in Australia, and we are so grateful to God for the gift of life. And we can't say more, but it's to hope that we can be able to catch up with everyone and have a good show together. So thank you for all that are joining us today. May God bless you so much, so much, so much. As we await on our guest, I would like just to read her bio. Now, Phyllis, or as we call her, Phie Ndiangs, is an administrator and a language instructor at the Korean Language Institute at Kenyatta University in Nairobi, Kenya. Now, her work is mainly to help with the daily operations of the Korean Center, as well as to teach the Korean beginner. Although she's a master of the language, at the moment she's just teaching beginner because down there in Kenya, not many people will be able to understand the language that fast. So as people advance, then her classes will advance. Now, Phyllis did her high school education in Kenya, after which she went for higher studies in the country of South Korea. Now, she went to a university called Sukmyong Women's University, and it's in South Korea. You know, there are two Koreas, but this happens to be South Korea. Now, she was awarded a full scholarship. And as we welcome Phyllis to the show, it's a good opportunity. Hi, Phyllis, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, we are so happy that you have joined us at Diaspora TV Australia. We are live from Adelaide, and thank you for joining us from Kenyatta University. Is that your office?
Yes. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we are so glad that you could join us. And
Yeah,
thank you so much for accepting the call to come to Diaspora TV.
no,
Now,
it's
I
my
was just
pleasure.
giving you a bio, and oh my, you are so educated. And
Not really.
yeah, in terms of uh, the country that you went for your higher studies, that's a higher call, you know. Can you
Yeah,
tell us, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself,
yeah.
so that I know? I was trying to introduce you, but I think it will better come from the horse's mouth.
I think I think we should do the introduction and then I'll just add on to what you'll have said. I think it will be better because I'll be kind of blowing my own horn if I introduce myself.
Let us know if you can hear us live and direct. And here we have Phyllis. She's a Korean language instructor or a trainer or a teacher, whatever name you can call her. In Korean, we call them songsenim. Is that right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would urge you to welcome people, share, watch party, and make sure that you don't, not your friends don't miss. Now, as I began to say, now Phyllis is a language instructor at the Korean Language Culture Center at Kenyatta University. Wow, in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes.
Her work is mainly to help with the daily operations of the Korean Center, as well as to teach the Korean beginner classes. And I think you're teaching beginner classes just because that is the only level that people have been able to attain, correct? Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
I think moving upper levels is quite difficult. Now, Phyllis did her high school education in Kenya, after which she went to South Korea to do her higher studies. She was awarded a full scholarship at the Sukmyong Women's University. In which suburb is Sukmyong?
It's in Seoul.
In Seoul City, which is the capital
in
city.
Seoul, in the Yongsan district.
Yongsan.
Yes.
And then where she undertook communication and media. So you can be a journalist, isn't it?
I should have been a journalist. I don't know what happened. I lost my dream along the way, but I should have. I just became camera shy once, and that was it.
Yeah, so you studied for 4 years, and with an additional 1 year of language course.
The language course, yes.
Yeah, and you later took a break from studying and worked for a year at different companies. Which are some of these companies that you worked at?
I did internship at Lotte Confectionery. It's one of the conglomerates in Korea.
Wow.
So the Lotte company has different things they work with. So some of them, they work with the supermarket, the department store, the Lotte department store, and then they have the Lotte insurance, Lotte whatever. But I worked with the confectionery because they were trying to bring gums and sweets and all this stuff to Kenya. So they really wanted to learn the Kenyan market.
Wow.
And to know what is of preference to the Kenyan market.
Yes.
So yeah, I worked with them for a while. Then I worked with some tour agency that was also doing packages to Africa.
Wow.
And also, yeah.
And I can see you
worked with the Seoul immigration.
You later applied for a master's in business administration at the same university where you did marketing. And that was also a full scholarship. So whoever is watching tonight, within this show, we are going to let you know how you can apply for such scholarships. And you got a full scholarship and you studied there for another how many years?
Another 2 years, but I extended with an extra semester, to cover my thesis semester. Yeah, because the study I was initially doing had a lot of issues with my supervising professor, so I had to add an extra semester just to finish up with the thesis. So total was 2.5 years, but it was supposed to be 2 years.
Wow. Now, for those of you who are joining us, thank you. I can see you joining there. God bless you for joining. And if you have not followed us, follow us on Diaspora TV Australia. If you like, go to our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are everywhere.
Even on TikTok?
Yeah. Like our page, follow us, and so that you can continue to receive this kind of shows. Now, Phyllis did that master's in business administration, and also she has mastered the Korean language, and she boasts topic 5. And it's only 5. There are 6 levels, so you are just one level short.
One level away, yes.
Yeah, one level away to becoming what would say the master class or the most proficient Korean.
Proficient,
yes. Wow, what an achievement.
It's not bad. It's quite, in Korea, before you actually graduate or before you actually even enter university, in most universities in Korea, you have to have at least a level 3 to get into university. And then to graduate, you need a level 4 to graduate. And so level 5 and level 6 is usually when you're trying to just increase your level so that you can get maybe employment at a particular company, or you just want to grade yourself where you belong when it comes to the language. So,
and I know in Korea, I think, did you study in English or did you study in Korean?
In Korean. For me, when I went there, it was my undergraduate was strictly Korean, and you're lucky you get like one course in a semester that is in English. So
now our viewers would love to know, why did you choose Korea? For so many people go to the Gulf, they go to America, they go to Asia, other countries like Australia. We have people who go to Europe, but why Korea? And also tell us, how did you find out about Korea? Because I think many people who are watching us I know most of them don't even know maybe where Korea is.
Oh yeah,
Leave us
yeah,
a
yeah.
comment
I was
there
one
if
of
you're
them.
watching. If
I
you're
was
watching with
one of
us,
them.
yeah. If you're watching with us, please leave us a comment, a question for our guest.
Mm.
This is an interactive segment, and we can all share together. Now, take it
Mm.
away. Tell us.
So initially, I was actually, after I graduated high school, I was doing acting at the
Yes.
National Theatre.
Oh,
So
you
I
are an
had
actor.
joined. Yes, yes, yes. Shockingly,
Perhaps before we end the show, you're gonna give us a skit.
shockingly. Hey, I'm gonna give you a skit, yeah. Shockingly, I was an actor, so
Yeah.
I had joined one of the theater groups to do this. What do we call set books? So we'd go
Yes.
to different high schools and perform like particular set books, and then like it helps them to actually memorize or understand whatever is in that set book, like they
Yes.
did in our times. I don't know whether they still do that these days, but we used to do it back
Yes.
then. So we'd play parts in like in for instance the kitumbua kimeingia mchanga.
Mm-hmm.
It was called so,
Yeah, it
right?
was kitumbua kimeingia mchanga. Yes, that's
Ingia
right.
mchanga, yeah, yeah. So you would
What is that?
take.
What is that? What is that in English?
I have no idea. The sun has entered
If
somewhere.
you know, our viewers, if you're watching and you know what is kitumbua kimeingia mchanga, please
The sun
explain
has
to us
got in
in
somewhere,
the
but I don't know
comments.
what it means in English. So
Me
yeah, so
too.
you would
Yeah.
take a scene, and mostly I was being given the child roles because I was quite short. Well, I'm
Yes.
still quite short,
Oh,
so I'd
yeah.
play the kids
Yeah.
role. And during my period there, I met one of the girls. I'm gonna big up her on Facebook. Her name is
Yeah.
Mombi. So we
Mo-
met. We met
Mombi,
Mombi.
what's her other name? Is it the
Gosh, I just know
Mombi
by
I
her
know?
by, yeah,
Kasupu?
Kamombi Kale Kasupu. Yes,
Ah,
yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. Yeah. Oh, she was acting as
So
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I met her, and she told me that there's a free Korean language class in town,
Oh,
and
a
so we
free
just,
Korean language school
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Nairobi City. And
Yes, that
when
time.
she told you this, what did you think about the name Korean if you had not heard about it before?
For me, actually, I was just doing it for pastime because we used to come all the way to my house. My mom's home used to be
Yeah,
far in Roy. So I used to
yeah,
leave Roy all the way to town to act. And then I felt as if just going home without doing anything in town was quite a waste of time. So I needed somewhere to actually just spend a little bit more time before actually going home. So it was just a pastime, like a complete pastime. I had no idea what I went there to do. I just was passing by initially in the
yes,
first time. And
yes,
I remember we just used to go there to at least pass time.
yes.
But when we went there, it happened. We met the teacher that time, who's now the director of
Yeah.
the center, and it was quite interesting
He's
because
the
he used to
director.
invite us.
The teacher who was teaching there is now the director of where you are teaching.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Is a
And so
Korean person.
Korean gentleman, yeah, yeah, he's a Korean retiree from the Air Force, the Korean Air
Ah,
Force. Yeah.
okay.
So when we went there, because we used to just go there to pass time, but then happens he would invite us to dinner at his house, and now enjoying the food. And one time in class, and he was like, you can get scholarships in Korea, and that was it. I didn't know where the country was.
Yeah.
I didn't know where
You didn't
North
know whether
Korea
it's in
was.
Europe or Asia.
No, no, wait, no, 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 no.
You
I
just
feel
had
like
the
some
name
people are
Korea.
even yeah, some people are even advantaged to know there is North and
Yeah.
South. Me, honestly, back then I had no idea North and
Yes.
South even exist.
Yes.
So after he said there were scholarships, I was like, oh wow, I'd like to leave Kenya, of course. So I went home and took the encyclopedia. I don't know whether they still use
Yeah.
encyclopedias. And I checked
Oh,
the map, and I was like trying to trace
had to go
Korea.
that far? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I had to check where Korea was because we couldn't use. I didn't have data, or I didn't have internet that time, so
Yeah.
I just went to the encyclopedia, tried to look where South Korea is, but it is so tiny
Yeah.
that it's so hard to locate on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I found out where it was, I was like, okay, let me just get some interest in it. And we attended class for quite some time. And now I started searching schools online. And Mr. Kim, his name is Mr. Kim, would recommend like universities to apply to. So I just found one application at the Sungmyung now, the university that I attended. I had actually made a previous application to a film university,
Yes.
but I really didn't want to attend film
Yes.
university. Film, I didn't want to do a film major that time. So I just Googled and I found out about Sungmyung. And
Yes.
unlucky, or I don't know whether it's lucky or unlucky, the application period was already finished by the time I was applying. So I just sent them an email and told them, I see your application dates are already due, but I'd like that you give me a chance to just send my applications
Yes.
to you. And the lady who was working in the administration office or admission office was like, okay, it's okay, just send your documents, just send these documents to our email, and we'll see if you're eligible or
Yes.
not. So that's what happened. And when they got back to me, I thought it was a miracle because these scholarship schools, they usually do not reply first of
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Indeed.
right,
It's
yeah.
very hard to
So they
find
replied and
a response. Yeah. And you
yeah,
must
yeah.
have a lot of criteria before you get actually
Right,
selected. Yeah.
right. So when she said that I could apply late, I was like, okay, fine, perfect. So I talked to Mr. Kim and told him they have accepted me to send a late application. So I prepared all the
Yes.
documents, and he had to come and talk to my mom and dad and tell them where Korea was and what I was going to do in Korea, and assure them that their daughter was not going to be sold or
Yes.
used in that time. They used to use people for drug trafficking
Yes.
or whatever it is. So he
So
had to come and assure my
you are,
parents that
you
I
are
was
you are
safe.
not sure whether it's an exploitation scheme, people who are looking for maybe trafficking
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Back
sure.
then, the thing that was very popular was you would be shipped to like another
Yeah.
country, and then your body would be
Yeah.
sent back dead, but with like
Yeah.
drugs inside or something like that.
And
That was
that was very
popular
sad.
back then.
Yeah.
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 So my parents didn't want me to leave at that time without that assurance that that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a country that is known. I'm strictly going for education and education
Wow.
purposes only. Yeah, and so
So
that's
now let's place you in Korea. You
yeah,
have arrived.
yes,
Was that your very first country that you traveled to outside of
yep,
Kenya?
yep, yes,
So
yes,
what
yes,
were your
yes, yes.
expectation? Were you expecting it to be a certain color? Were you expecting to find any differences between Korea and Kenya? What were your expectations?
I don't know. I feel like I was so brave that time
Yeah.
as compared to as now because it's my first time traveling. I'm traveling alone. I'm traveling to a country that I have no idea where it is. I didn't know
Yes.
what I had. I knew no one in that country, so I didn't know what I was going to do when I
Yes.
landed.
Yes.
Right? I had no. I had nothing to expect from that country. The only thing I was expecting is what I had already seen on the movies. Because before, when I came to realize that I was actually finally going to go, I started now watching some Korean
Mm-hmm.
dramas, some Korean movies, and there's this TV station, the GBS. It
Oh yeah,
shows
yeah. I can remember
yeah,
GBS. Yes.
yeah.
It used to show some
So
Korean movies, medieval times
right,
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I used to watch a lot of Chumong. I don't know if sorry.
I watched Jumong. Oh, you watched Jumong. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
watched the whole series too.
Yeah. So
It was quite
my
interesting.
it
It's
was
an it's
it's
it's a
very historic.
wartime movie of sorts. And if you're
Yeah.
watching us, just go watch Jumong,
Yeah.
Jumong.
Engine.
It's a
Right.
very nice movie from South Korea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that people were still
Yes.
dressing up like that. That's what I thought. That people used to
Like the way in the
still
medieval
dress.
times, yeah, the way they appeared in the movies with the dresses, with the
Right. Right.
attires and stuff. And that was your
Yeah.
mentality. So you were expecting to
That
see
was
those kind of
Exactly what I
people.
was expecting to see. Yes, like those kind of dressing and
Yes,
all this really like they put the nicest face
yes.
on TV. So those are
They
what I
have
was
they have
expecting.
to do some makeups and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, but shock on me, they were wearing normal clothes, first of
Yes.
all.
There were no those long overalls. What do you call them? Hembok?
No handbook.
Hambok. Those
Yes,
are
there
the
were no
long
handbooks.
dresses that
Yeah,
the ladies wear. And also the men have
even the men.
a variation of the men. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I was expecting. But shock on me, it wasn't. I had
Yes.
landed in Korea. I knew nobody. I had to call the university to come and send someone to come pick me up at the airport,
Yes.
and it was tough. It was really really tough. I had no idea what I was going to
So
eat.
because you didn't understand the Korean language,
Yeah.
what was your experience in terms of communication? Were they communicating to you in English, especially at the airport? How you
Mm.
ended up navigating your way out of the exit to exit the airport in the first place and to call for help? How did you manage to do that based on the fact that that country is 100% Korean?
I actually don't remember my experience at the airport. Maybe because it's a very long time ago.
Yeah,
But
you may have followed some
my
signs.
yeah, I actually, but I knew I was following people where people are going is where the exit must be.
So
So that's all I knew.
if they were going back to a plane, you would have ended up back.
I would have ended up back in the plane, but I knew that people were leaving outside, and I'm going to the direction that everyone is going to. So that's
Yeah.
all that guided me. Then when
Yes.
I got outside, luckily enough, there was already someone who had been sent by the teacher
Yeah.
here to come and kind of
And
like pick
fetch
me
you.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
drove me
did they
all the
have
way
a
to the dormitory.
placard with your name on it, or
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, 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 yeah. So
that's how you
drove me.
survived? I would say.
That's how I got saved. Otherwise, I would have ended up on a plane to Kenya, or God knows where.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now
So
you've landed in Korea. What are
yeah.
some of the challenges that you found, especially at the beginning? What are some of the
Mm.
challenges?
I'd say communication for me was a big deal. And
Yes.
then trying to actually
So,
communication was the biggest deal
like
because
when you talk about communication, what was the
Mhm.
impact of communication like when you went to the shops, when you went to the
Yeah, yeah,
bus stage stop
yeah.
and stuff? How did you know that I am supposed to take this bus? I'm supposed to, like, if you want to buy airtime, how did you communicate with the shopkeepers?
Actually, to be honest, the first 2 weeks, I don't think I ate anything aside from bread and Fanta.
So food is another
So
challenge.
that was the
The biggest
biggest challenge
challenge
for
is
me. For 2 weeks, I actually,
food.
yeah, for me, I kept a diary that I still have up to date, and I used to
Yeah.
write every day my experience. That diary, I just went through it the other day, and I found out for 2 weeks straight, I hadn't eaten any
Oh
food,
my
any
God.
hot food, any cooked food. Imagine. I,
Oh
was-
my
I
God.
literally, because I actually arrived in Korea earlier than the time I was supposed to arrive there. So I arrived in
Yeah.
Korea 2 weeks before the semester began.
Yeah.
So for 2 weeks, I survived on bread and Fanta because that's all I could
Bread
see
and fat.
when I went into the
Oh
convenience
my God. You
convenience
must
store.
have been emaciated.
Yeah, I lost a whole 12
Oh
kilograms
my
within half a year that I
God.
went there. Yeah,
12 kilos.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, 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 yes. It
Wow.
was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And like there was this one time that I was leaving my dorm, going to the campus now to meet the
Yeah.
administrator, and I just made the wrong turn and ended up getting
Oh,
lost. But I wasn't actually really lost. I was just on the right turn, but I just
you
thought in
became
my head I'm lost
disorientated. Yeah.
completely. And most of the Koreans, when you approach them, they just kind of swerve and walk away because at that time they couldn't speak English. Now times are different. Now they speak English. You'll
You,
definitely find someone to ask the
yeah.
way on the
Yeah.
road. It's not compared to back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I met this lady and his
And,
son. They were
you
just
see,
walking, and I was like, "Can you
the other
help me?"
factor, the other factor could have been because you are also a person of color. Then did they like
Right.
discriminate on you did they like stare at you? Were you finding any other African people there?
No, where I was at first, I couldn't, and plus I never left around the campus area. I never left the campus area. But after those 2 weeks, I'm saying that I went earlier than I was supposed to. The building that I was actually living in, the dormitory, was just new. They had just bought the building, so I was the first person to live in that building. So there were no roommates, no nothing, no other people in the whole building. But after like 2 weeks, there was an Ethiopian lady. So we were two people of color, at least two Africans.
At least that.
And then a month,
Yeah.
at least. And then a month later, we got a Ghanaian lady from Ghana.
You must have.
So we were three Africans.
Yeah. You must have
It
felt
was
very,
heaven.
very
It was
feel
heaven
good
when they came.
Yeah.
But also we had, but also we had, at first I had language communication issues even with the Ethiopian because she couldn't speak English very well. Yeah, her English was really bad. So even understanding her. Yeah, at least she could speak some. She was better, than nothing.
Better off.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'd go to restaurants to order food and we have no idea what we're supposed to say, and we'd have to like take a pen and draw something, and, like.
Do you mean you had to draw food?
Seriously, yeah. My Ghanaian friend she was the best artist among the three of us. The problem is you don't know what kind of restaurant you're going into. So we had gone into a restaurant that you have to go to the cashier to order.
Yes.
Before you sit down. Like they don't send the waiters or the waitresses to come and take your order at the table when you're sitting down. You have to go to the cashier, order your food, come sit down. So me and them went and sat down, and we sat there for like 30 minutes waiting for someone to serve us. And we are like, oh, these people are racist.
Yes.
Not knowing we're supposed to go and actually place the order there. Then we finally decided to go and ask, but they actually do not understand what we are saying. The menu is totally in Korean. We do not know what we're supposed to order. So we just, she could take a pen, draw like a pig or something, and a bowl of rice,
So that meant pork.
Yeah, pork and then the rice.
Oh my
so
God.
That's how we survived before our
You
Korean.
really survived.
Yeah. Before we knew what food we were going to order, it was just hectic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can imagine how hard it was, and especially with the fact that you are also expected to start studying using the Korean language, not the English.
Right,
so even your studies, like you've gone there to do media and communication, but even that media and communication, it's all in Korean.
At first, my scholarship was the scholarship documents I received from Korea was 4 years scholarship. And I thought I was going to study in English. But when I arrived there and met the president of the university and the director, they told me that there's no way I can take my course in English. And there's no way I could start my course immediately. So they had to put me in the language course for 1 year. And so my scholarship documents were changed to 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I delayed my...
Your entry into
so at that time I was quite... Right. I was quite angry. I just wanted to come back, but there was no way out.
Yeah.
So I had to join the language school.
You mean you had enough? You wanted to come back?
Yeah.
It was
like I wasn't. Can you imagine, John? You're going to a country and you're being told you're studying in their language, and you had been told it's all English, and now you're being told it's all Korean.
It's the same thing in Tanzania. They do everything in Swahili, so it's the same thing.
Swahili is easier.
And I think that is what we say in Swahili: kujivunia tamaduni and culture, being proud of your culture. So I think
they are really proud of theirs.
I think even Kenya, we should have considered maybe. What do you think? Maybe we should have studied in our languages.
But the problem with us is we are so diverse. We have like so many languages. So even if you say let's do,
we have done Swahili.
Swahili, there's still people who are not conversant with Swahili.
No. But even English, they're not conversant, but we are studying in English. I don't think that's an excuse. We can still enforce our culture where we use our own language, because we are struggling to use the colonialistic language. because this came through colonialism, you know.
True. Actually, it's quite a point. Actually, we're talking about that because Koreans make it that you have to speak their own language. You have to,
Yes.
regardless of
So
what you want.
in effect, they are colonizing you.
Please don't say it like that. Please don't say it
So
like that because
you are
that
the
means I have
Kenyan,
been double colonized.
you are the Kenyan colony in Korea, or the
Yeah,
Korean
yeah,
colony in Kenya.
right. Wow, double, English and Korean just like that. Mm,
If you look at it, even when the British people came and colonized us, it was not for
mm,
our own good to some extent. It was for their own good.
their own
So,
good
yeah,
to make
yeah,
it easier for them.
the Chinese are coming to Africa. It's not for our own good. It's for their own good. It's what they can gain.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So for them, they don't want to go through the English. They want to go you to come to them
I
with,
must
with their
say,
Korean.
I must say, it can be quite frustrating because if you go
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in the market, you can't find anyone
Mm.
that you can communicate with effectively. Then it can be very, very stressful. Now, take us through
Yeah.
those challenges as we maintain in this topic. Now that you started now becoming more and more conversant with the language, what
Mm-hmm.
are more challenges that came up?
Um, for me, I think the biggest factor, and it's probably the fact that probably led me to just wanting a way out, is the fact that you really don't make any, how can I say, any strong relationships in the country. I think this is just my personal opinion. I'm
Yeah.
sure that many other Kenyans who have been in Korea have different
Yes.
opinions, and or rather
And
any other foreigners that have
yeah,
been in
and
that
if you're
country.
watching us, if you're watching us right now, this is Diaspora TV Australia. If you agree with our sentiments, and if you feel that that is not true, and you feel maybe what Phyllis is saying about the relationships and social aspect of Korean life is not true, or you think you are enjoying more, you could leave us a comment, tell us question or anything, and we shall talk about it here. Now,
Mm.
Phyllis, you're talking about the relationship, so you're talking about the social aspect. So, are
Mm-hmm.
you meaning that they do not socialize as you would in Kenya?
I mean, like, if I go to Korea, I'd like to make Korean friends instead of going to Korea and making Kenyan friends. Of course, I need acquaintances here and there who are from
Good
my
point
country.
there. Good point there.
But
So
yeah, but
you will be happy being in the company of Koreans and at
right.
least getting that new relationship building with
Mm-hmm.
new people, because Kenyan people
Yes.
you're already used to them.
Right. It's already easy for me to make
Friends
Kenyan
in
connections in
yeah,
Korea because we are such a small group of Kenyans. Anyways, but I would like to make like different or a diverse, relationship with the locals, the Korean people. But I
yes.
found like you can make a relationship or a friendship with a Korean person and actually have a very long term friendship with them. Or you can have a friendship with a Korean person that ends very soon,
Abruptly,
very
you'd say,
fast. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
without warning.
Abruptly, without
Yeah,
warning. Yeah. So,
just like we see in the
like,
movies.
right. So
Uh,
they have a
I
very
think they are
easy
quite,
way of,
yeah, they are quite
they
sentimental,
have,
I would say.
yeah, and very sensitive.
Yes,
So you can be very, very close friends today,
yes,
sharing A to Z today, but
yes,
tomorrow you may have wronged them with just one thing. And for us, I would say in African culture, or better more like the Kenyan culture, when you wrong someone, you just say like, hey, I'm sorry, I did this
yes,
yesterday, and I
yes.
apologize, and that's it. But if you wrong a Korean person, that's it.
They keep
They
a record
totally,
of
completely
wrongs.
cut, and they cut you out.
Oh my
They
God.
completely cut you out. Like, wewe umeisha hivyo.
Oh my
So you'll
God.
have, yeah,
That's
you'll have
cruel.
no friendship. It's very cruel. Like, and it's not just the foreigners, they're actually like that even with themselves. If they cut you out, then they don't expect
So it's exactly as we
any
see them in
continued
the
friendship.
movies. Just
Yeah,
exactly as we see them in the
yeah,
movies.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I've had to break up friendships just like that. Friendships that I thought that we could actually have just said sorry and, apologize and move forward with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in those terms, you find that even if you want to make like a close friendship with a Korean person where, they just become your friend and you share, whatever you're going through, because, some of the problems that you go through in a foreign country actually you should have a foreigner around. You should have the local around for you to be able to solve some of the issues that
Of
you
course.
go through.
Yeah, of course.
And especially in Korea, if you're going to live there, you need at least a Korean
Yes.
friend, because there are some things that as a foreigner you might not
Yes.
understand. There are some things as a foreigner, like other foreigners who even want to help you, might not even know. And there are so many things in Korea that foreigners can take advantage of, but actually do not even know they exist because they don't have a Korean person to actually introduce
Yeah,
them
the
or actually
destiny, we
tell
call
them
them
to.
the destiny connectors. People to
Yeah,
connect.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or even help. You might even go through problems
Yes.
and think that, and you might not take yourself out of the problem because you don't have a Korean person to help you.
So
And that can lead.
in essence, what you're telling us, those people who are watching us from South Korea, I know we have some people who are watching us from South Korea. So you, in essence, you are telling them it's good to build relationships with the locals, because once you have
Yes,
those relationships, there's some things
yes,
that you will learn from them, and they could be
yes.
beneficial for your stay there and for your
Very
education.
beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So even those who have, you might make friends with those who have stayed there for long, but there are some things that they do not know
So you mean those who
that the
have
Koreans
stayed
know,
there for long, as foreigners who've been there for long, they may seem as if they know everything, but they don't.
but they don't.
Yeah.
You definitely need a Korean friend around.
Yes.
I believe so. So as difficult as it is to actually form friendships with them, it's quite important that you establish a relationship and a friendship with them. And it might be over as soon as it started. You might be friends today.
Yeah.
And the people studying in Korea can bear me witness. You might go to a class and actually make friends through the group work. They have those group works
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
work with your friends in the group project.
Yes.
And immediately the semester finishes, and the next semester you find yourselves in the same class but at different groups. But this person might act as if they have never seen
Oh
you
my.
in this planet. They don't know you,
What?
they have never seen your face, they won't even say hi to you.
Yes.
So the first time I went to, and I think it kind of messed me up socially, because as Kenyans, we're used to saying hi to everyone, like, hey, Nyaje, hey, you
Yeah.
fit, if we meet next year, I'm still gonna say hi to you, and like,
Yes.
really well. But
Yes.
it kind of messed me up, because I would meet someone in a group project and think we're friends because we actually even go have coffee and, stuff like that. And then the next semester, I'm walking around the campus and I see them and I say, like, wave at them, but they just pass by. Like, the first time I was so shocked. I was like, did she just walk past me without saying anything? Like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next time I waved, and then she was like still ignoring me, and I was like, oh wow, okay, this is happening. And it happened so many semesters later, like the second semester, third semester. And by the
Yeah.
time I was the sixth semester, I was already like them now. I wouldn't even care. Now I would be the person ignoring them,
You had grown
you
a
know?
thick skin. Yeah.
Yes, I was now like, you know what? Okay, I think this is what you guys do around here. And
Yes.
unless you're my friend for 2, 3
Yes.
semesters, then I'm not going to waste my time to say hi to you. And
Yes.
that kind of attitude carries forward. It carries forward even as you leave forward, because I have noticed I have that with me now.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to kind of correct it.
Yeah.
But you just find those friendships, unless now you have a friend who you've met for 2, 3 semesters, you're in the same
Yeah.
class, this semester, next semester, you're in the same class, then that kind of friendship now grows. And, like, I still have friends I met in 2011 when I was a fresh year in Korea.
Yes.
I still have those friends still talking to me up to
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yes. Now let's fast forward. Now you have lived in Korea. Now it's 9 years you've lived there, and now you are capable of speaking. You have done topic level 5, which is just one shot to 6 to becoming the most proficient foreigner in South Korea. Now,
Yes.
in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
And now you are teaching Korean language at the Kenyatta University. You know, most of our viewers would love to know some of the good things about Korea. We know we have talked about the challenges, but what are the benefits? What are the gains that you got from going to Korea? What is the difference? Why did you choose Korea? Why not Kenya? Why should people think about going to Korea, if you would say?
First of all, is exposure. I think you get a lot of exposure being outside of the country,
Yes.
and you get international work connection network, right?
Yes.
Because you not only
International
now you
means
know.
you get to mingle with other countries as well. Do you get other
Yes,
people? Which
yes,
other nationalities?
right. You
Which
get
other nationalities do you get there?
I have good friends from Indonesia. I have good friends from Canada. I have good friends from America. I have good friends from
Perhaps,
Laos. You know, like you create such network.
perhaps, Phyllis, you should tell them to follow right now. Tell them to go to go live right now and see and contribute to the debate.
Who them, the friends of mine?
All those,
They should and comment there and say
yeah,
hi to me and tell me how they're doing and what they learned also from Korea and what
indeed.
the experiences
We are
were.
watching
Yeah.
us from South Korea. Let us know. And thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Peter Kihara Kamau is watching there. Thank you, Favored Grace. Thank you for joining. And those people joining us from Korea, Ramaken, everyone that is joining us from wherever you're joining us, thank you for joining us. And if you want to ask our guests some questions, I'll be happy to take them. If you have some comments, yeah, some input you'd like to know, let us know. Now, we're talking about Korea. We need to know the good side of Korea. Why? Because you went there, and I must say, it really helped you. You have an MBA from there now, and now you're still
Yeah.
with the Korea. You are the Korean colony in Kenya now.
And still recruiting
And
recruiting more people to the
you have become a
colonization.
collaborator.
Now I'm a collaborator. I'm working with them. They've given me the arms and the tools. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just it's a good country to be in,
Yeah.
first of all, and their technology is over the roof for those people who already know that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know
In
about South Korea, you just need to
and they
Google
don't
and see
need to
where
go
they are
far.
in the world.
They don't even need to go far. They should just look at their phones. Samsung comes from South
Right,
Korea.
Samsung, LG, you know, those are some of the big companies that are doing great,
Yes.
yeah. And yeah, so those and networking would be also be another, you know, and I think those are quite the biggest
The
advantages
technology
for me.
is super.
Networking, technology is super, and you know, like and what else?
And education
Yeah, I think
wise,
those are the in
even
education
wise,
wise, it's top.
top
It's not the
notch,
top,
but
but
it is
it's
top notch.
way better than the Kenyan. Yeah, way better than the Kenyan education
And
system.
also
First of all,
the developments like the roads, the railway networks, and
the
transport,
infrastructure you is really good. Yeah,
security.
security. Oh yeah, you can walk freely and safely past 3 a.m. No one is going to ask you. You can sleep on the streets. No one is going to steal anything from you.
You
So
can leave a
yeah.
phone on the toilet.
Oh, I've dropped my what do you call it? My wallet in the subway, and I think they opened and they saw my picture there, and they were like, they have to. They walked around the subway looking for just any black girl,
Oh
you
my
know.
word.
And
That's so
so
kind of them.
yeah, I had just, you know, the subway, and you're getting into the metro and you just have the card, yeah? And it was
Yeah.
inside my wallet, so I had just clicked to get in, and I thought I put it in my handbag, but it dropped down, like it fell. So the guy came walking from the south, and I had gone all the way to the end, to the past cabin of the metro. So he had
Yeah.
walked all the way just looking for any person of color, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, here's your wallet," and I was like, "Oh, wow, wow."
Wow.
You know, if this was in any other country, I wouldn't have got that wallet to begin
Yeah.
with. And the money inside wouldn't have even been there,
Oh
you
my
know?
God. You
Yeah.
know, those are some of the benefits that we get from honesty, people who are honest. So now, you being a language instructor at the Kenyatta University, and you're teaching people, and what one thing you said at the beginning is that was also your avenue to going to Korea. You know, people go
Right.
to the Gulf, people go to
Yeah.
other Asian countries like Bahrain and other countries, but not many people know about South Korea. And South Korea is such a developed economy. I have been there for a whole year, so I also know from experience, and I got to meet Firis there.
Yes.
Those times, it was, I found it to be a very developed country, and
Very, very developed.
I can assure you that is a beautiful country to choose.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about people looking for a pathway to go to Korea. So if they come to Kenyatta University and study Korean, they will get access to scholarships, isn't it?
Yeah. So first of all, let me go back to where I am an instructor and at the place where actually enabled me to go to Korea. I actually came back to the center because it was a way of me giving back. In Kikuyu, we say like giving back the
Yes.
hand, yeah? I don't know whether it makes sense
Yeah,
in
yeah.
English, but it's like returning my thanks,
It's like
returning my thank,
yeah, the
the
favor.
favor, yes.
Yeah.
So I felt that I had been helped a lot by the teacher who sent me, who enabled me to actually go to Korea.
Yes.
So because through him, my whole family has been to Korea.
Oh,
My
your
brother
whole
has just
family.
graduated with a master's. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
So my brother just graduated with a
wow,
master's. My sister is also, we graduated at the same time with my sister. She has a master's from
wow,
Korea. My younger brother still not finished his education, but he studied also in
wow,
Korea. And my parents have also visited there for like a month and a half.
wow,
So
wow.
it's
Awesome.
it's just me coming back to say, thank you for opening gateways for not just me, but even my whole family to be able to gain high education.
Yes. And that
So
is the
I
same
came
place.
here.
The same place you're working is still owned by him.
He doesn't own it per se, but he started it. He's the founder.
Or
He's the
he's the
founder of the
founder of
institute.
Korean
Yes, of the
Institute in
center
Kenyatta
in
University.
Kenya. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So currently, as an instructor, I'm just doing instructor as just a by the way of what my actual job is. So, and the reason why I felt that I need to probably just teach them, aside of what I was actually called here to do, is because when you're teaching or when you're actually like teaching the language to your Kenyan people, it's easier for them to understand it from a Kenyan person's mouth than from a Korean person's mouth, because we
Of
use Kenyan
course.
references to
And,
teach. Yeah.
and, and it makes it more interesting to find a Kenyan
Right.
speak fluently in Korean. It
Yes,
makes it
yes,
interesting.
yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's also interesting to actually teach them and give them examples of Kenya,
Yes.
like, or this pronunciation, we pronounce it as when we are saying this in
Yes.
Swahili,
Yes.
So it's usually
In it,
fun
it's
to
fun. You
teach
do
them in
it as
Swahili.
it's actually like a hobby to you because you
Yeah,
understand
actually,
Korean
I'm doing
language
it as a
inside
hobby.
out, and then you
Yeah,
understand Swahili inside out. So you're teaching an
yeah,
audience that you
yeah.
understand both ways.
Right. So it's easier. And plus, now Kenyans already have a big, like, like compared to back then, they know more about Korea than they used to. First of all, thanks to BTS, they kind of know, and thanks to Gangnam Style, so many people are now, and
Gangnam style.
Korea,
So
yeah,
what
and
people
Korean
didn't know about
drama.
Gangnam style, Gangnam is a suburb in South Korea, isn't it? So
Yeah, yes,
it's
yes, yes,
associating with the people of Gangnam, whatever.
yes, yes,
In
yes.
Korean, G and K is the same, isn't it? So you can say Gangnam
So
style. It's not a gang.
yeah,
It's not a gang. It's just a place. Actually,
yeah,
Nam is side, means side. I know
yeah,
South Korean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gangnam
So
Style, yeah.
yeah, Gangnam
So I
style.
find I find my students know a lot about Korea than you would actually expect a Kenyan person to,
Yeah.
and not through Samsung and not through LG, but through the music, through the group,
Not
the
even
group
many people
band.
know. Not even many people know that Samsung is Korean or even
Right,
LG.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But these days they're so through music and through dramas and
K-pop.
through the Korean
Yeah.
movies, K-pop, yeah, so they know a lot.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you join KU and you join the language school, yeah, you are encouraged to get at least a topic 1, which is the beginner's level of the Korean language proficiency exam.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
after you get the topic 1, you are able to, before when they used to send people to the technical school, there was no topic
Yes.
requirement. So because of the competitiveness, now you require topic 1 to at least be sent to Korea to get a scholarship for 1 year.
Oh wow, wow,
And
wow. So you are
yes,
quite lucky.
they are quite unlucky actually. They're quite unlucky. For us, we
but
were lucky because we
with
just left.
people like you, it's easy because you can be able to teach them in a language that they can identify with.
Yes, but I mean now the students who would like to
Yes.
visit Korea have to get the
Yeah, yeah.
topic
Because
1. They need
I,
the
I remember even my time when I visited Korea, I had to
yeah,
do, I did some language skills at least to know
yeah,
how to greet someone or stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think important is actually very helpful because when you
yeah.
land at the airport, no one speaks any other languages Korean.
Mm-mm.
And
Nobody,
from
nobody.
experience,
Yeah,
if you go to
yeah.
the shops, if you want to buy even a phone, they will not understand you. So
Mm-hmm,
having that
mm-hmm.
topic level, at least some level of understanding is very important.
Very, very important. So they emphasize that you have to have topic 1, and if you want to do your
But that's
bachelor's,
very
then you
basic.
need a topic
It's very
3.
basic.
That's basic 1 for just the year technical language. The one that you went to is now just the base. You need that exam now. That you need the certificate for topic 1 for that 1 year language course, the one
Well,
year training.
I don't think it's too hard because when I
It's
was in
not really
Korea,
hard.
I did topic 2 and I passed.
Yeah, it's
I don't
really
think
not
it's
hard.
hard. It's not
It's
hard.
really not hard. The
Yeah.
hard part is when now you're an undergraduate and you need the topic 3 or topic 4 now to actually to be able to go into the
Yeah.
country. But there are the government scholarships sent by the Korean government,
And they are still
which are applied, of
existing
course.
and they are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
free.
We just sent one. We have a student who went in January for his masters. But you have to be very good. You have to get all A's because it's very, very competitive, of course. So he went for his
What about
masters.
the program that people are being taken by the Seoul government to kick Sambon? You know,
It's still there, but
yeah.
now because it's still there. We actually have 3 students who will be leaving next month
Does that still
or
require
April.
topic?
They need topic 1, yes,
Just topic 1.
and
So if
yes,
people want to apply, they want to go to Korea for studies, and that is the first pathway. You can go with studies, then you can end up, like for example, you ended up working in the immigration department in Korea.
yes, yes. Yeah,
So people can climb up the ladder. So you can start as a
when you get there,
student and you end up working in government departments like you did.
mhm,
So what
mhm,
you're saying is, if people want to at
mm,
least get the Korean experience, they should come to Kenyatta
mhm.
University Korean Institute.
They definitely have to. They definitely have to, or at least join the online classes. We have
Oh, you
online
do.
classes going on. This is me
So
marketing and
are you the
advertising.
tutor? Are you the tutor of the
No, no,
online
no. We
class?
have no online. I'm just like mainly doing my. I'm helping with the online platforms. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the teaching is done by Mr. Kim, the same colonel that I'm speaking about,
Kano
and we
Kim.
have one more teacher. Yeah,
Okay.
who now usually teaches from Korea. So
Oh,
there's
that's
online classes.
so. How do they register for the online classes?
They just have to send their details and then
To who?
to our email address, the NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com. And when they
Nairobi.
send
Just say it
things,
slowly so that people cannot, or else we can write as a comment. So Nairobi King Sejong,
kingsejong at
King
gmail.com.
King Sejong
Yes.
Without any Nairobi there, KingSejong. Okay,
NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com.
NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com. So that is
Right.
for all applications or only the online application?
That's the Gmail. They have to first register as students so that we're able to put them on our platform. And then when we register them, we can be able to, you have to be invited into the link, and you have to have access to the syllabus as well. So through that, they will have the
All they need.
access
So
to, yes.
I have put that one there. So you can
Okay.
register as a student at NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com. So once they
Right.
register that, they send that's an expression of interest.
Yes, you just send your details like your name, your phone number, your email address, especially the email address. And then through that, then we are able to guide you on
Invite
how you'll
you.
be able to join the classes. Yes, to invite you to the classes, because I
So
think
that
we
means
might have physical classes
in
in
KU.
September. Yeah,
So
physical class. Now because of COVID, we're
oh,
just
so
going through online classes.
you're still doing
Yeah,
online classes because of COVID.
right.
So,
Yes.
but people can still register, and after they do their studies and do topic one, then they can be able to apply for very nice scholarships depending on their
Right
qualifications.
now, to be honest, we have so many. I don't want to say it so loud, but this is a secret. We have so many scholarships, but we have no one to
Yeah,
send to Korea. Honestly, it's quite shocking to me that we have so many opportunities, but we don't have people to give that opportunity to. You
yes.
know, we have we have actually we had the scholarship that we are sending them to the Sunborn. We had to look for men. We actually do not
Wow.
have men at all,
We only
so we
have
had to
ladies.
go and fish. So
And
many ladies, but now the Sunborn
and
thing,
the thing is, what do we call that school in Sambon? Is it what was the
Elim,
name?
is it Elim?
Ellen.
Elim Technique, yeah.
I I know that school. One thing is the fees will be fully paid, and apart from that, they provide for your accommodation,
Food,
they provide for your
accommodation,
food,
everything
and
for 1 year.
on top of that, they will give you some stipend, some money for you to
Yeah,
spend
yeah,
around,
yeah,
buy
like
some
5,000
food,
shillings.
yeah, buy some
Yeah,
stuff like that. Go to what places. You don't have to
yeah.
spend a penny when you go to that.
Yep, the whole time for the whole 1 year.
And it's
So
not
we
just
had
that.
to, yeah,
Yeah, or any other place that you go to in Korea, like for
right.
a scholarship, those will be provided.
Yes, mostly fees and accommodation, but the food and other stuff, you kind of have
Yeah,
to do part-time jobs, yeah.
but they are available. The
Yeah,
part-time jobs are available.
part-time jobs are
Also,
available, yes. Yeah, I'm
so
trying to
it's,
get the link.
essentially people should flock to Kenyatta University. But for now,
They should, and they should, and they should, and they should, and they have to, if they want opportunities to.
and by the way, if
I'm
you've
telling you,
never
we
been
have
to university,
opportunities, we don't have people. We
yeah,
don't have the people to give the
are they
opportunities
paying?
to. So,
By the way, are they paying any fees?
no, the school is completely free.
It's
The
free. Wow.
Yes.
So
So people are missing
how do you
out.
guys sustain the school?
Actually, we are run under the King Sejong Foundation Institute, which is in Korea. It's a government institute.
Oh, so it's
So
funded by the government.
we are funded by the Korean government. Yes,
Wow, that's
we are
interesting
funded by the
and good
Korean
to
government.
know
Yeah,
that you can
yeah,
actually start your own pathway to South Korea without
yep.
paying a penny. You don't have to go to the
Imagine,
GAF. You don't have to.
imagine,
You don't have to go and get
imagine.
abused in the GAF. If you are listening
Knowledge
to
is
me
power.
tonight, all you have
Knowledge
to
is
do
power.
is just
Is
head over
join
to
to
your Gmail
KU.
account,
Yes,
NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com, register your
yes,
interest there, and they will
yep,
invite you to attend their lessons. Once you get
yep.
some bits of Korean, you'll be eligible to apply for so many scholarships that are available. So head
And to
over
all
there.
those people who have been to Korea and they know there's so many people who have been to Korea from this center. There's so many people who Mr. Kim has, endorsed to go and study in
Yeah.
Korea. I know they're watching maybe, but um they should be, what do you call them, like wanaitwa aje,
The
The
mentors.
people who, no, they should not. They're not mentors. Like they should be the people to show that it really works. You know, like
Oh,
I'm one of the beneficiaries, of course.
yeah, yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
saying there are so many people who now are in Korea, living there for more than 6-7 years, who have
They are
come
living
from
the
this
dream.
center, and they
Yes,
have come from this center.
yes.
And if you know you've come from this center, kindly send your, what do you call them, your shout outs to me and to Mr. Kim, at least to thank him for the opportunities you have been given.
Yeah.
Do not forget.
Actually, leave us a comment there. If you are a baby of
Yeah.
Mr. Kim, send that.
Yes. And
Leave a comment there.
there's so many
Yeah.
of them. There's so many of them.
I know
Yeah.
you too. If you don't leave it, I'm gonna come after you.
I know all of them. I will tag them here. I will tag them here to at least even to send Mr. Kim an email and tell them regards and tell them how they are doing in Korea. That is one problem with Kenyan people. When you help
Yeah.
them, they don't remember to
And
come
say
back and say
thank you.
thank you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that's very true. So many people, it's like they cross the other side of the river and they don't
and they
remember the
forget
person. Yeah, they
completely.
forget.
Yeah.
So
The
if you're a
bridge can be
student,
breaking on the other side and they don't care whether it is or not. Just kindly, share, tell us how you're doing,
yeah,
and at least not me, at least to Mr.
yeah.
Kim.
Once again,
Yeah.
if you are watching us from Kenya and you are stuck in Kenya and you'd like at least to board an airplane, you don't have to go through to Mombasa to feel the experience. You can go to Korea
Yeah,
and
man.
let me tell you something. The economy of Seoul, the developments and everything. I've been to Seoul myself and have been
Yeah.
to cities in Australia like
Yeah.
Sydney and Melbourne, and Seoul is in that category. It's so
Mm-hmm.
developed. It's in the
Mm-hmm.
same category as Sydney. So
Yeah.
you still feel the Western kind of experience even in South
Yeah.
Korea. You'd feel
Yeah.
like you're in America. Actually, their systems are all American.
All
So
American systems,
that
yes.
is a little America in Asia. So
Yes.
it's just a language that you have to navigate. And if people
Mm-hmm.
have done it, like Phyllis,
And I mean, and
yeah,
yeah, you can also do it. And now they have become more English than ever before. Like there's so many people speaking English. There's
yes.
more lecturers in
And there are more
English.
Africans.
There's
I remember when we were there, we were not
right.
as many. You knew almost every Kenyan, every African that was around.
Now I
But
don't
right
even
now,
know
you are
half the
such a
people
huge
there.
community.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
page, Kenya Communities, KCK,
In
Kenya
Korea.
Community in Korea. You can head over to that
Mm.
page on Facebook and see other people who are in Korea and
Yeah.
get to mingle with people, get to know what Korea is all about. You don't
True,
have to
true.
go to the GAF and you don't need any qualifications apart from your high school qualifications. So as long as you have a
Mm-hmm.
high school qualifications, you can always go to this campus in KU and just do a little bit of Korean and you'll be on your
Mm-hmm.
way for free to South Korea.
For free. Mm-hmm.
Fully
For
paid,
years.
accommodation paid, all fees paid, and in some
Yeah.
instances, even you get some money at the end of the month. Do
Yeah.
they give the stipend for those people who get scholarships from
No, no.
university?
No. University, that's why I'm saying you have to at least try and get some part-time job. And I mean, they're not very
Yeah.
hard.
So, like
Yeah.
for example, there are some universities because I remember there's one I was keen on, and they were offering a lot of stipend as well. So it also depends on which university. Some selected ones do offer some
You
stipend.
know, some selected ones do, and the Korean government scholarship does give stipends of 100. If you're doing masters, you get like I think it's 80,000 shillings or it's 100,000 shillings per month. The
Yes.
Korean government, if you're doing
Yes.
masters. If you're doing undergraduate, you probably get maybe around the same, maybe 80,000 shillings per month. I'm not pretty sure. But out of that money, you have to take out now your accommodation fee, and the rest is yours. Like maybe you can be able to pocket at least 50 or 60,000 a month,
And
depending on how much
enjoy
your
and
dormitory fees are.
go to Gangnam and have some life
And go
there.
Gangnam and have some soju and, some makgeolli or whatever you want.
Now, we are talking about you being a language teacher, a Korean instructor. We don't want to hear you speak some Korean. Like, tell us the name. Tell us who you are in Korean, just for to have a real taste of Korean.
Okay. Wow, when it gets to that, I just kind of like
Ah,
freeze.
you're a teacher, for heaven's sake.
Exactly. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 제 이름은 필리스 왕기츠입니다. 반갑습니다.
Oh,
K으로 와서
반갑습니다.
한국어를 잘 가르쳐 드릴게요.
Wow, wow,
어서 오세요.
wow, wow, wow,
환영합니다.
wow, wow, wow,
환영합니다.
wow, wow. So
많이 많이 와주세요.
if I can interpret what she said, welcome everyone. And she also said that she'll be very happy to teach you Korean.
Yes.
And she said, welcome. I know some
Yes.
Korean. I think I can
Oh,
still.
you're doing good, eh? You're doing good, eh?
Wow, that's wonderful. Wonderful. You
Yes.
sound just like them. You know, in the
Not
movies,
really.
we only hear Smida, Smida, Chimika.
감사합니다.
Only the
네.
ending.
True. But it's also because I am still working with a Korean, so I still get to practice my Korean on a daily basis. So
Yes.
it doesn't, language is practice.
Practice.
So I
Practice makes
actually don't
perfect.
lose it on my mouth because I'm always using it like almost every day.
Yeah.
Not almost every day, but actually every day.
Yeah.
Both in writing and, my work is all Korean.
Now you're
Yeah.
working at the moment you are in the office at Kenyatta University, and aren't you?
Right.
You wanna take us
Yes.
around?
Sure, why not? Okay.
Are you able to rotate?
So,
Are you able to rotate your phone?
yes, I can.
Yeah, try and rotate it so
So,
that we can
this
have
is
a wider view.
roughly my printer, which is very disorganized. I'm following the live on my MacBook, and this is my what do you call desktop with a
Workstation,
lot
yeah.
of
Yeah.
workstation with a lot of reminders of what I have to do.
Can you hold it
This
there
is
where there are those writings, the stick notes? Oh, wow. So you can type. Oh, God. Is that your handwriting?
yes,
Wow. What's that?
yes. Just reminders of what I have to do
No,
monthly
I'm
or
not
daily or
asking.
whatever.
I know. What I'm asking is the letters themselves.
Yeah, and then this is mostly what I'm doing, my actual
Wow. And it's
job,
in
like this
Korean.
outbound. Yes, all
Wow.
in Korean. I do everything in Korean. Yeah.
Wow.
So before you called, I was actually working on, the plan for the year, what we
Yes.
plan for the annual
Yes.
year and stuff like that. Then these are my folders. All my papers are also in Korean. The
Wow.
books to tell
So
us.
basically, in your office, there's nothing English there. It's all Korean.
No. Yes. I'm fully, and those are my files for the year.
Wow.
And
Quite a lot.
then quite a lot, yes. And then
Is
we
Mr.
have posters we bake per
Is
year.
Mr. Kim around?
No, he isn't. I'm just alone. His
Okay.
office is the next office, and he isn't there. Then I have stickers. That's my brother when he was on Korean TV.
Wow.
Yes, and that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, so
interesting. Wow. Thank you.
yeah,
That
I'm only
it seems
alone. Mr.
your
Kim's
work is
office
cut
is the
out.
next.
Yeah. Seems like your work is cut out there. Wow.
Yes, it's
Wow.
yeah.
Again, if you're watching us, this is Diaspora TV Australia, and make sure you like our Facebook page and follow so that you can get notifications when we go live. Now, we are not going to end this conversation tonight, so we're going to get Phyllis another time on the show so that we can continue marketing South Korea and also get
Yes.
people who are in Nairobi or somewhere in Kenya who would love to have that experience abroad and we don't know how to go around it. This is your chance. This is a
And if
very
there's
big,
any topic they want us to discuss in depth, because we haven't discussed everything in total depth. So if there's any topic that they would like us to discuss in depth, they can share with you, and we can see how we can go about it.
of course. And
Yes.
now we'll end up by teaching our audience just a little bit of Korean. So, like we say, hello everyone. So, if I want to tell them hello and welcome to Diaspora TV, can you welcome them in Korean?
So 안녕하세요 is hello. 안녕하세요. Everyone is 여러분. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 다이아스포라 TV에
Wow.
환영합니다. 다이아스포라 TV에
How
환영합니다. like that.
I'll try that. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Diaspora TV의 환영합니다. How did I do it?
그쵸. 잘했어.
Wow.
Yes.
And then tell them to like, share, follow, and subscribe to our Diaspora Facebook page and also YouTube page.
Okay, so you want me to say all that?
In Korean, yes.
Okay. YouTube and what else? YouTube, Instagram?
Yeah, everywhere.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, 모든 SNS 플랫폼에 좋아하기 누르고 follow 해주시고 그리고 이제 기득 많이 하시고 네. 어느 소식이 있으면 follow 하시고 네. 뭐 뉴스를 나오면 follow 해주세요. I don't know what to say about that. 많이 좋아하세요.
저도 많이 좋아하세요. Wow. Thank you so much. So what she meant there is go to our Instagram page and like it. Go to our Facebook page,
like,
follow and like. And go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. And leave us comments as well. Because, you know, in this age of
comments
online.
도 남겨주세요.
Yeah. Can you repeat that?
Comments 도 남겨주세요.
Oh,
leave us comments.
That's awesome. Namujuseo. Yeah, namu means
namujuseo.
So leave us some comments. Thank you so much. I can see Mr. Peter, Mr. Favor Grace, Purity, Germany, Kabaisa. We have Favor Grace saying it's awesome. Thank you for joining the show. Now, if you are stuck in Kenya, you don't know where to go in diaspora, well, South Korea has their gates wide open. And it's very simple. It's all free. All you have to do is go to your account, your email account, and lodge an application or register your interest at NairobiKingSejong at gmail.com. That email is in our comments. So if you go to our comments, copy that email and send them an email, tell them that you really want to go to South Korea and you will end up there. I can assure you, once you start the journey, you will end up there. So we'll wrap it there tonight. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for coming to our show. And this is
my pleasure.
Just the beginning. We shall continue to catch up with you. We shall have the next show very soon, and we shall let your audience know. We shall have our advert as usual to let you know that we are coming live with Phyllis. Her Korean name is Phie Ndiangs. Her Facebook, you'll find her as Phie Ndiangs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, may God bless you. And from wherever you're watching us, it's good night here in Australia. Have a good evening
here in Kenya.
Yeah, and everywhere else in the world, depending on your time, have a good time. God bless.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye. Tell them bye-bye.
Bye.